Hello everyone, my name is Heather, and in today's video I'm going to share with you the 3 best and the 3 worst things about our cruise that we took in August of 2018 on Royal Caribbean's Mariner of the Seas. This cruise has already been documented on my channel. This was the first cruise that I made vlogs of after I started my channel in June of 2018. So I will put the playlist of the vlogs from this cruise at the end of this video if you want to go back and watch them and see all the details of the cruise. But this cruise and the one after this, which will be coming up in a future video, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. I did not do this summary recap that I've been doing. I started doing this after our cruise on Disney Wonder in 2022, and I've done it on every cruise since. And I realized that I never did kind of a best, worst, good and bad of each of my cruises prior to that. So I have been going back through all of my previous cruises and making a video for each one to tell you about them. And this one and the next one are kind of those in between. So they're cruises that took place after I started making videos for YouTube, but before I started doing the summary 3 best, 3 worst thing at the end. Okay, so today's video is about the 3 best and 3 worst things of our cruise on Mariner of the Seas in August of 2018. Because I already have vlogs, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. I'll just give you a quick summary. It was over my birthday. We had an aft facing balcony stateroom, and it was me, my daughter Megan, and my son Ben, and it was a 4-night Bahamas cruise. And we went to Nassau, and we went to Coco Cay, but it was before Coco Cay became Perfect Day at Coco Cay. So it was quite different. And I do have a video on my channel, and it'll be in this playlist at the end, that shows you what it was like before the way it is now. The 3 best things about this cruise. First best thing, it was my birthday. This is the one and only time I have been on a cruise for my birthday. It was my 46th birthday? Yeah, 46th birthday. And on this cruise, I enjoyed so much being on a cruise for my birthday that I said to the kids, I want to take a cruise for my birthday every year for the rest of my life. And I've never done it since. We've almost always, until actually this year, till 2023, I think. And maybe 2019? Yeah, I think there's 2019 and 2023, I don't think we were traveling at all. We were just at home. But every other year since then, I have been traveling. I just haven't been on a cruise. But I've been really eager to go back on a cruise for my birthday. The past 2 years, we've been on a cruise for Megan's birthday, which is at the end of May. And she likes that, but she actually has specifically requested that we do not go on a cruise for her next birthday because she wants to have 1 year to do something different or be at home. So it's kind of funny. But there are a couple of challenges to doing a cruise for my birthday. One is the itineraries are somewhat limited in late August. There's really only 3 options. One is Alaska, one is Europe, and the third one is there's a limited number of Bahamas and Caribbean cruises over my birthday. This was one of them. When you look at the Bahamas and Caribbean cruises over my birthday, I have to be careful that I don't repeat. I could be repeating a ship, which I don't always mind. I've been on the Disney Wonder 3 times, but I want to try new ships and new itineraries and go to new places. And now I've been to Alaska, and I don't know if I want to go to Alaska in August or not. I don't know. If you've been to Alaska in August, how was it? Europe obviously can be very, very expensive, especially the plane tickets to get over there. But I definitely would like to do some Europe cruises over my birthday in the future, if I can. Now, because I was so sad this past birthday that we not only were not on a cruise for my birthday, but that I didn't get to travel at all or do anything on my birthday. I did nothing. I was so bummed about that I'm like, I have to be more proactive about this, and I have to plan to be on a cruise for my birthday well in advance. So I already have the cruise booked for my next birthday. I'm gonna make sure we go on that so that this doesn't happen again. Okay, but being on the cruise for my birthday was one of the best things. It was great. I highly recommend it. You should all go on cruises for your birthday. Okay, second best thing was Mariner of the Seas. At that time that we had gone on it, had just come out of dry dock and had been not completely. It had been quite a bit refurbished. And the main things that were done to it were on the top deck. So they added the slides, they added the sky pad and the sky climber thing, like a climbing structure for kids, and it's the virtual reality trampoline bungee thing, which I think have they stopped doing that now because they realize it's kind of a waste of space, in my opinion. The kids weren't that impressed with it. They preferred just doing the trampoline bungee thing without the virtual reality headsets because they tried it both ways. I think they're better off putting something else in its place. It's on a few ships, but I don't know if they're going to keep doing that. And so the whole top deck was really nice, and they might have made some changes, I don't know, in public spaces, dining areas. I'm not even exactly sure what all had been refurbished. I can tell you what was not, and that was the staterooms. The staterooms on Mariner of the Seas were, probably still are, quite dated, very late 90s. So, you know, they were nothing all that special or fine. I mean, our stateroom was great, and I'm going to come back to that in a second, but it was cool to be on a ship right after it had been in dry dock and that they had added some features to. My SkyPad video from that cruise and our room tour actually are two of my top performing videos on my channel ever. They're in the top 6-8 videos on my channel. And that was really a boost for me when I was first starting my channel, because I hadn't been doing it, a month or two? And I had these two videos that got a lot of views right away. I should have learned right then. I should have done more cruising videos early on. The third best thing was we really liked the food. I just remember the kids really enjoyed the main dining room experience. We were table sharing on that cruise with an Asian American family, mom, dad, 2 kids. I want to say they were from San Francisco, I think. Mom didn't want to eat anything. I don't know if she was seasick, she was very, very thin, or what her deal was, but they kept trying to bring her things, especially desserts. Well, here, we'll bring you this, because they just wanted to see her eat, and she hardly ever ate anything. And so we kept eating all her food. We're like, well, I'll have it. So, you know, sometimes we'd have like 5, 6 desserts. I don't know, it was great. I remember they had really good key lime pie that I loved, and that was what I had on my birthday. They brought me a key lime pie sliced with a candle in it for my birthday. That was open flame on a ship. I can't believe they did that. But also, this was before the Royal Caribbean menu was redone, which a lot of people I know are not happy with. And we just really liked the food. The kids loved the food. Ben loved the elegance of the main dining room, even though he was only like 9 years old. I think 8, 9, 10 years old. He just really enjoyed it. And we really enjoyed our experience in the main dining room, and we really, really liked the food. We just thought everything was really good, and we're very happy with it. So that was one of the best things. Okay, the 3 worst things on that cruise. Number 1 was we were really bored. We were very bored on that cruise. I made a video about why. One of the reasons why was because it didn't have anywhere near the number of activities that Disney Cruise Line has on their ships, and we definitely felt it. And the one thing that I really noticed, and I particularly noticed, and the family that we shared the table with had the same complaint, because their kids were similar ages to mine, 2 boys. They didn't have enough family-friendly activities, things that the family could do together. You know, there'd be adult activities, and there'd be active physical activities that you kind of really are doing by yourself. The slide, the rock climbing wall, you know, things like that. But you're not doing those together really. And those also were kind of like a one and done. Like once my kids had done those, they didn't really want to do it again. Flow rider, that kind of thing. And then there really just weren't enough activities to do all together. Now, on our cruise on Navigator of the Seas, which was 4 years later, they had a ton of great activities on it, and I was so happy. So I don't know if that's a difference because those are sister ships, if that is a difference over time that they improved it, or if that's just a difference in the ships. And maybe the cruise director and the entertainment staff and stuff like that. I don't know. We did enjoy the entertainment. The ice show was really good. I don't remember what we went to. There were some shows in the main theater and they were okay. They were decent enough, you know, production shows. Nothing big and famous, but I mean, some that they had produced themselves that were okay. But I think that was it for entertainment. I mean, there might have been like live music somewhere or something, but again, that was more of like an adults thing. One thing I do remember that we were frustrated about was there would be things that Ben couldn't go to. One example was the escape room. Megan and I wanted to do the escape room, but Ben wasn't old enough. And it wasn't like we could just leave Ben by himself somewhere, and he didn't want to go into the kids club. Because of that, because of like a lack of family-friendly activities, we just felt kind of bored on that cruise a lot of the time. The kids especially, they kind of complained about it. Okay, the second thing that was a problem was how hot it was. It was really, really hot. It was August in the Bahamas, blindingly bright sun that just beat down on you. And the top deck was so hot that you could not walk up there without something on your feet. You literally burned the skin on the soles of your feet if you tried to do that. A lot of people did it, and I was like, okay. You know, we'd see people with no sandals on or no water shoes or something, and I'm like, I don't know how you can stand it. But that was a problem. It was very, very hot. Again, we were completely fine on the ship, as long as we weren't walking around barefoot on the top deck. But we did not get off in Nassau. On Coco Key, we felt like it was too hot. We even swam and stuff in the ocean, and we still felt like as soon as you got out, you were totally hot again. So it was very, very hot. We did not enjoy that. Okay, and the third thing, this isn't a big deal, but the table sharing. Because on our previous cruise, the year before, on Disney Wonder, we had been surprised, pleasantly surprised, that they gave us our own table for 4. And so we kind of thought, oh, well, if you're a group of 4, they'll give you your own table. And so I think this time we were kind of expecting to get our own table, and then we didn't. It was a table for 8, and it was a family of 4 and our family of 3, and so then there was one empty chair. It was completely fine. We tried to make conversation with the other family. They were not very chatty at all and didn't really seem very interested in talking to us very much. I mean, we talked a little bit, but we could have definitely had a more engaging, lively conversation than they seemed to be willing to. So that was a little bit awkward sometimes. And I don't think I knew at that point that I could have requested a table for 4 for just the 3 of us. I didn't know that at that point. I learned that on the next cruise, you know, like between this cruise and the next cruise. So that was a little bit of a negative, but none of those things were terrible. You know, they weren't the worst thing in the world or anything like that. So one bonus thing I wanted to put, which fits in both good and bad, okay, and that was our cabin. Our cabin was a aft-facing balcony cabin, and because of that's what it was. 2 things about that cabin were really awesome. One was it was bigger than normal. It was a very large, spacious, long cabin. Lots of space in that cabin. And the other thing was the balcony was huge. It was a very big balcony, biggest balcony we've ever had. It had 2 like long lounge chair things, you know, where you can like lay down, and 2 regular chairs. And I want to say 2 tables, and we could have eaten, you know, there was a big table and a little table. We could have had meals out there if we wanted to, like room service. We never did, and we really liked being able to be over the stern of the ship and see the wake and everything. So the room itself, we really, really liked. The 2 negative things about that room, one, you can't really help, and the other one was a problem with our room attendant, which I didn't find out until we were on Navigator of the Seas, that he was not doing what he should have. The one thing about those aft-facing staterooms is they're a long way from the elevator. And the stairs, really, because the elevator and the stairs are usually right together. So, whenever you wanted to go up or down, anywhere else on the ship, you had to do a lot of walking. And that's something to keep in mind. I like the quiet of being on the end of things and rooms. I've had both this aft-facing room all the way to the back of the ship. Ben and I on the Disney Wonder in 2022 had one room from the front, from the bow, all the way to the front of the ship. I like that. I like the quiet, and I like the fact that nobody ever walks past your room, but you're going to end up having to walk a really long distance to get anywhere. So just keep that in mind. The farther you are from the elevators and the stairs and the center of the ship, the more walking you're going to have to do. But good part of that is that it's usually very, very quiet, and you don't have people walking by your room or anything like that, which when we had a room on Disney Magic right off the elevator bay and the stairs was definitely a problem. I got woken up every single morning by people walking by and making noise in the hallway outside a room because they were going to the stairs or the elevator. So it's a trade-off. Which one is more important to you? The other negative thing about our cabin on this ship was when we first got on, we were so happy. They had already split the bed, so Megan and I each had a bed, and then the sofa folded down into technically a double bed, so two people could sleep on there. So Ben had that to himself, and he had tons of space. We loved that sofa. It was a really big, kind of extra long sofa, but the only time we got to use it was on that first day of the cruise, on embarkation day, because once the stateroom attendant turned it into a bed for Ben, he never put it back. And I was really mad. I was really annoyed that he never turned it back into a sofa again, because we lost the use of our sofa for the entire cruise. And talking to our stateroom attendant that we had on Navigator of the Seas, he confirmed that that was not correct, that he should have been converting it back into a sofa every morning when he made up the room, and he didn't. We had the same problem on Harmony of the Seas. Our stateroom attendant that time did not turn Ben's bed back into a sofa during the day, even though they were servicing the room twice a day. So I was very happy once we got our stateroom attendant on Navigator of the Seas, who did, well, no, on that one, the sofa wasn't the third bed. It was a Pullman bed that came from the ceiling. On Disney Cruise Line, one of the beds is the sofa. It converts into a bed. They always automatically turn it back into a sofa during the day, no matter what. In that case, unless you request them specifically to leave it as a bed, that's the only way that they would do it. So I was really disappointed that we lost our sofa. We were so excited about having this nice big sofa, and then we didn't get to use it for the whole cruise because they kept it a bed the whole time. If you liked this video, if you found it interesting or helpful in any way, please be sure to give me a thumbs up down below. And there's going to be one more video in this series, and that's going to be from our cruise on Harmony of the Seas. So if you want to make sure you don't miss that or any of my upcoming travel content, please be sure you're subscribed to the channel. Remember that subscribing is free. It does not cost you anything, but it helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. Have a great day and safe travels.